What's the challenge now, Robin, for the Indian batters? They're going to be coming out to bat very shortly. Usually, traditionally, we've gotten so used to building up, Rohit Sharma versus Trent Bolt or Virat Kohli versus Team Saudi. You think the conditions, the fact that India batting first, all of that now suddenly changes, and because the pitch is assisting the spinners, it's now going to boil down to Virat Kohli versus a Mitch Santner, a left-arm spinner. I believe Virat spent a lot of time yesterday in the nets for a very long time facing up against left-arm pacers as well as left-arm spinners. No throwdowns for him, which we usually see ahead of a big game. No throwdowns, I'm told. He only played in the nets against those left-arm spinners. He got out to a left-arm spinner last time around. So this time the challenge is going to be very different from the New Zealand team with their spinners coming into play.
Oh, absolutely. I think with the way Mitch Santner is bowling, I think he's going to be a difficult customer to contend with. And one of his advantages is that he delivers the ball really late. So a lot of times you can't play pre-planned shots or predetermined shots against someone like Mitchell Santner, because he delivers the ball ahead of his head. And then if he sees the batter coming out, he'll just drop his wrists and bowl the ball slightly shorter. So he's a very cunning bowler. And someone who's very, very shrewd and sharp when he bowls. So miserly in that sense. So and the kind of form that he's in, that he's gonna try to exploit this wicket. I wouldn't, if this wicket's going to continue to be dry, I wouldn't write off Rachin Ravindra also rolling his arm over, because he's a little bit Jadeja-esque as far as his bowling is concerned. Both quick through the air, comes through his action very, very quickly. So if there's a little bit of grip and turn on that wicket, you can certainly see Rachin bowling a few overs. And then Glenn Phillips also bowls a few overs. It's these part-time bowlers that can be quite dangerous, and which is why I believe the start is going to be extremely crucial. How Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill contend with the likes of Trent Bolt and Tim Saudi, and what kind of a start India get off to will dictate, how the game kind of proceeds for the likes of KL Rahul, Shreyas Iyer, and Virat Kohli.
Now that we know, as you said, the start is going to be very crucial. Now that we know that, what kind of pitch is going to be on offer, India are batting first. What is that kind of total that India would be eyeing so that they feel a bit comfortable? I know that twilight is that tough period that New Zealand will have to contend with. But I'm also told that as soon as that 15-over period is done, then batting becomes very easy, and sometimes even 300 can be chased down if you've not lost a lot of wicket at the start. So New Zealand then have that advantage while they're chasing. So what's that kind of total India then is going to be targeting?
275 plus for me in this game. I think anything above 275, India will be very happy with. The closer they get to 300, the better it is. I think, but anything above 275 is pass score. 300 can certainly be a winning score, especially with the kind of bowling attack that India have.
Does India then continue with that approach where Rohit Sharma is the aggressor and the rest of the batting then revolves around Virat Kohli when he becomes, the accumulator? That's the template that India has been following and should continue in this game, considering they're batting first. So no need to change that strategy?
Yeah, absolutely. You wouldn't change that. And I think they continue to play the brand of cricket they have been playing in this World Cup, and it's been entertaining and great to watch. And they have practically dominated every team out of the park in every game that they played in this World Cup. So you're hoping that they repeat that same kind of performance against New Zealand. And, if they win this game, and I say when they win this game, they will actually send shivers down whoever the other finalists are.
Okay, now just set up the game in terms of New Zealand, Robin. We'd love to know from you. You spoke about the spinners. We've spoken about their spinners. But overall, their team, remember, Kane Williamson is that player who was not part of that New Zealand side when India really, beat them in the group stage. Overall, who are going to be those, players that India need to be wary on, considering the kind of surface that's on offer today?
I would have to say, as far as batters are concerned, I would have to say Rachin Ravindra, Kane Williamson, Daryl Mitchell, and Tom Latham for me in this game. I know that Devon Conway hasn't had the best record at the Wankhede. He would certainly like to change that. He's had, after the first game, after he got 100 in the first game, it's been a very quiet World Cup for him. So he would want to put his hand up and score some runs. But for me, these four players that I mentioned just now are the ones who I feel will put their hands up and perform for them. As far as bowling is concerned, I think the usual suspects as far as they are concerned, Trent Bolt, Lockie Ferguson will be a handful, because on a wicket that is dry, He might get a little bit more because he hits the deck hard. So, and he bowls a lot of cross-seam deliveries. So he could get a little bit of purchase from this wicket with his cutters and fast cutters. He could get a little bit of purchase. So for me, I think Trent Bolt, Rachin Ravindra again with the ball, and Mitch Santner, along with Lockie Ferguson, would be the bowlers to watch out for.
Now, it's that prediction time. At the start of the program, Robin, you said, bit anxious. Now India has won the toss. Does that then tilt the game heavily in India's favor? And if you had to put a ratio down, what's that going to be?
Well, I'd say 55-45 to India. At this point in time, you always want that little bit of an advantage. But having said, once you get that, it's not going to make much of a difference if you don't utilize the option that you have. Now that they've won the toss, they need to get off to a good start. That's the first box that needs to be ticked for India. Then in the middle overs, I don't think there's a better batsman in the world who accumulates runs than Virat Kohli. So you want Virat Kohli to battle the 40th over at least. And it seems like it's going to be the kind of wicket where it's going to be a little difficult for the new batters to come in and get set. At least that's what it seems like from outside, given the fact that it's been said that the wicket's very dry. So you want someone to play that sheet anchor role, and I think there's nobody better than Virat Kohli to play that role. If Virat Kohli doesn't play it, then you know that KL Rahul can play that role as well. So you need to get these boxes ticked allow players to express themselves. And the likes of Shreyas Iyer, Shubman Gill, Rohit Sharma will go ahead and do that. But I think the likes of Virat and KL Rahul will play that sheet anchor role for India. And they're able to do that well, and India can get well past 275 today.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Robin, thank you so much for joining us, setting up that game for us as the big semi-final, India versus New Zealand. And as I mentioned earlier, it's not just something that fans have been waiting for the last few months. This is a game that a lot of Indian fans have been waiting for over 4 years since that loss in that 2019 semi-final. Same stage, same opposition, but things have changed drastically, as we've just discussed in our entire program. Now, it's up to the men in blue to make it 10 out of 10 in the World Cup, and then who knows who awaits them in the final. But before that, there's a game to be taken care of. It is New Zealand, a tricky opposition. For starters, India have started on the right note. They won the toss and have decided to bat first.